Also, I'll get to look at another area that uh, predominantly floods, and maybe also understand why, from that particular area, why other areas equally flood. And as you can see, the journey towards understanding JKIA and Kamulu flooding basically starts from the Nairobi National Park, the Embakasi Plains, and also the residential areas around the airport. So the larger Imaradaima, the larger ICD area, basically the ICD space, um, the larger Embakasi area, all the way, all the way to Avenue Park, significantly bring about flooding into JKIA, primarily because of how densely populated this area is. And of course, there's a lot of catchment of water that needs direction. So, I will not dwell a lot on the residential areas. I think it's self explanatory why water would ideally move this direction. Maybe in another video, we will get to understand this waterway that you're seeing here, and maybe try and understand how it also causes a lot of havoc around pipeline and the Mukuru, Kwaruben, Mukuru, Kwajenga areas. But today, we are going to look at the airport. So if you look at how the airport looks like, if you've used Mombasa route and you're going towards Mombasa, as you're hitting the airport, when you look on your right, you'll see a lot of go downs, um, right? And so these go downs are this. This is what you see. But right after the go downs, or rather behind the go downs, you have the national park. And inside the national park, you have several water bodies and small rivers that pass through the Nairobi National Park. So here you can see we have, is it Malo, Maloyeti River, and Maloyeti goes and joins, uh, it's Makoyeti, sorry, Makoyeti. And then you also have Sosian, the Sosian River. So now, when you look at Sosian, Sosian comes all the way up, right? It comes towards the dam in the national park, towards, or rather domiciled around the Mbakasi Plains, and it seems like it takes an upward trajectory here, and somewhere around here we lose the dam, and so clearly it would mean that this area is where maybe the passage of this dam is, right? And again, this would ideally, I now remember, yes, we call them seasonal rivers. So because of its seasonality, then people encroach, in the river. And so when you look from this angle, you will see that at some point on Old Mombasa Road, you have some kind of greening, and this greening comes and crosses here at the Nairobi Expressway. And as it crosses the Nairobi Expressway, you can see it gets smack into the airport. And once it does that, uh, you would ideally then appreciate that all this water floods the cargo area. And so I think about a day or two ago, we had how we witnessed a lot of cargo destruction, a lot of exports that were going through the Kenya Airways cargo basically get destroyed. and we also saw a lot of flooding around the airside, right? And so a clear indicator that all this water terminates, or rather, all that water actually comes into JKIA, right? And just floods this entire space. Now, as it floods this entire space, what is very interesting is that this water actually has a path. And you can see here directly that there is a path to this water. And so this is a path that we want to follow. That means the water would ideally come from the national park, and now we have human settlements. So all the water that comes from our roofs, from the roads, and from the national park would ideally follow this little stream, uh, this seasonal uh, this seasonal river, and it will come and terminate out of JKIA. And when it does, it goes along uh, the borderlines of Nairobi and Machakos County. And it goes, and of course, this is airport land. So here we don't have a lot of encroachment. It's basically a lot of shrubs and small trees, and basically wildlife. So you get a lot of that around this area. And so you can actually see it very, very clearly. Now, as soon as uh, we get into Machakos County and out of the airport side, you can see now we start getting a little bit of homesteads, and this is ideally the Utawala area. And so we witnessed a little bit of flooding in the Utawala area. So maybe it would be good to check exactly which areas they are and whether they are along this seasonal river. We know that Katani heavily floods around this area, and so you have this entire Katani side that actually floods. Okay, and even if we go a little bit deeper into the if we go deeper into the Katani area, you'll actually see that there is a lot of flooding that happens around this area. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of flooding that happens around this area. And so, again, when you just follow this seasonal river, you'll actually see the direction that it takes, and it gets straight into Kamulu, right? And so you can even see the change of soil types. This is probably black cotton soil. This is red loam. And right from the satellite layer, there's a lot that reveals itself from just looking at these maps from satellite view. And so you can also tell that into Kamulu, um, you have this area being very densely populated. And so as you look, you can see that it slowly fades. This river slowly fades, and somewhere around here, around the Kamulu AIC area, where we have the Drumville Secondary School, St. John's Catholic Church, Greenview, um, the Kasarani Technical, this area, you just get the water not being seen. It then crosses over Kangundo Road and it goes downwards on Kangundo Road. And as it goes downwards, you have Brookshine schools. And on this other side of the road, of course, the border between Nairobi and Nairobi and Machakos County. And what is also interesting is that at this side, you now also meet the Mbagathi River. And interestingly, right here, there's a huge termination of water. And this is now the area around the Kamulu virtual way bridge. And on this other side, you have the Jkia junction, and you can actually see the Bagada River taking its course. And you can actually see there's another tributary on this side, very small, but it comes and also joins the Mbagathi River. All right. And so that means this area here probably has a lot of water termination. Um, probably it's a wetland. And so most of the water that comes upwards from the JKI area would ideally terminate around this side. So maybe the question becomes which areas around Kamulu have been flooding? Are they surrounding, these water bodies, right? It would be good to know, right? And if they are, um, what are we doing to make sure that we are not buying land, that is very, very close to these water bodies? And I think it's very, very important to note that um, we have seen that water can be very devastating if it's not allowed to take its course. So it will branch out and make sure it still follows its course. And with that comes a lot of havoc. So I guess it's for us to be very thoughtful about the the places where we're buying land and the places where where we're building our legacies and our homes for our future generations, right? And I think, um, I mean, this is just layman thinking and looking at it from a satellite layer map view. I'm 100% sure that there are so many other technical tools that can be used to showcase um, the use of planning, maps and all that kind of stuff. So you can actually see that at this level it becomes Mbagadi River, right? And it just takes tons and tons and goes, along the Nairobi, Machakos, Kiambu County. And if you continuously follow it, yeah, you will probably be able to appreciate how it turns and turns. And from there, you actually see where it actually joins with Athi River. Yeah, right. So one side is Machakos County, and the other side is Kiambu County. And as they flow down, it now becomes Galana River. So that even when you're going to buy some land somewhere, um, or you're just looking to prospect, it would be good if you just look from the satellite layer views and understand the topography of the area that you're buying land. So I hope this helps and you've at least got to see and understand um, the JKIA situation, right? So very, very interesting maps that showcase uh, the small flooding, or rather the flooding situations that we are currently going through in Kenya and specifically in Nairobi. I hope this helps. Have a nice day.